Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your Devops SRE DevSecOps coach. So now we are going to work on the project. So what is a project? So we'll take it up one of the small project for this discussion. Let's say the project is set up simple deploy a web server. Okay, that is something in hundreds of servers actually. That is something requirement what we have. Can be anything actually. Requirement can be anything. So this is the project. Uh, you may also get something similar. You may have a projects and what you are supposed to do, the projects you have to transfer into the smaller steps, pseudo code or something like that, whatever it is. So let's say if you want to set up a server, web server, in order to set up a web server, what you're going to do. So let's say probably I will install I'm doing the demo in the Ubuntu. Okay. So install Apache 2 package. And the second thing, copy index.html. I know the path and also manually you should learn before hitting to the Ansible. So var www html, I guess that's the location. It's the location. This index.html is a package. Okay. You want to deploy to the web server. And third one, start the services. Can be anything actually. It can be web server, app server, database server, this, that, a lot of things. So these are the three things we will do that in order to complete the projects. So what I'm trying to say here is wherever you get any projects, try to find out the steps for it. Try to write it down the steps, and for each steps you should look for the module name. For example, I want to install a package. The package name is Apache 2. So I should find out the module name. So what should I do? So before ChatGPT, life was like different approach. After the ChatGPT, things has changed actually. So let's say I earlier what I used to do in order to find out the module, Ansible module for installing package in Ubuntu. This is something which I used to do that. So you got the module name. This is the module I was talking about. It is a APT module, right? You have a detailing. You should read it. These are the tables and all. And it's a one-time work which you have to spend it and then get going. Okay, so I got to know APT module, right? Also, you need to know which parameter you need it. So required is for sure you have to use it. But if it is not required, then completely depends on your uh, experience. So let's say state one of which will be there. State is equal to what? Present is default. So even though present, you will not write a state, that is also fine. But I want to write it just for showing purpose. And which package? So name something like this. So you have to have experience before, else it will be very difficult. Initially it will take some time. So I'm looking for some package name. Here it is. It has aliases also. So name Apache 2. Done. So this kind of sudo work you have to do that. Don't jump to Ansible and directly start coding for it. Okay. So something like I did. So similarly, I will do for copy also. Okay. So copy uh, module. Something similar I'll do. Module name is copy. Parameter dest is mandatory. So and source based on the logic. Else will take a local directory. See here. We'll find out the service. So earlier I used to do the Google, but I just remember this is the way required. So module name, service name, package, state you will find most of the done. This is called pseudo coding. So you got a project, convert the projects into steps, and for each steps find out the module, and for each module you have to find out the parameters required for it, which will do the work. Are you comfortable, all of you, so far this approach?
What is the service name equals to name?
Oh, my bad. Name is equal to Apache 2. Yeah, got it. Understood the logic? Okay. So now next question is, guys, next thing is, let me ask you one thing. If you want to run one command in the one server, okay, so would you run a command and complete the work, or would you write a script and then run the script? What would be your approach? Tell me, all of you.
What is the question? Can you come again?
You want to run one command in one
Hmm.
server. So would you write a script or would you run just command and finish the work?
Command.
Correct? Huh?
Run a command. Yeah.
Yeah. So very simple logic, right? So of course you will do that. So something similar uh, we have in the Ansible also. So let's understand the first thing. This is a training flow which I designed for easy onboarding of Ansible. Okay. So if you want to perform one task, let's say copy is one task, but in one machine, localhost, because anything which you do, first you have to try in the localhost, right? Means first try in the dev server, and if you are okay, then you try in the other server. That is how it is. So if you do want to do one task in the localhost, one remote machine, or multiple remote machine, and so on, then what we use? Ad hoc command, Ansible ad hoc commands. That's the So there is one concept called, you don't need to write a script in Ansible, you don't need to write a code in Ansible. Everything you can do if you want to do one or two tasks in a hundreds of machines. See, multiple remote machines, ad hoc command will work for it. How it is working, I'll show you that. That's not a problem. But let's say you have too many tasks, multiple tasks, then you need a playbook. What is a playbook? I need to teach you, don't worry about that. Okay. And then here you have inventory, I need to teach you. And if you have too many tasks in the bucket also, and many variables, handler, and many other stuff, then you need a role. So today I'll help you with the ad hoc commands, and tomorrow I'll help you with the playbook, roles, and stuff like that. Got it? Logic, are you clear, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. So now
What
guys,
is the
I'm going
role? The role also same as like playbook. Huh?
uh, right now, I don't want to give you the right definition, but
Okay.
I just want to put it in a way. See, complexity will grow over the period of time, and in order to manage the complexity, we have a role. Now, then
Okay.
you'll ask what complexity, and for that we need to understand first the playbook. So it's like one by one. If you go, it'll be proper. Okay.
Sure.
So now I'll focus on this one. So Ansible ad hoc commands. Okay, so how do we write? So guys, Ansible ad hoc commands, typically we do with Ansible, that is a ad hoc command. If you want to run playbook, then there is one utility which I remember I set here somewhere. Here, playbook. This is for ad hoc commands. This is for playbook. There are so many other utilities are there. I would insist you to do offline. Now the question is where you want to run it. First, I want to run it in localhost. So run in localhost. Now, which module you want to run it? So -m apt module. Which arguments you want to pass it? -a and this one. That's all. Work is completed. Now you'll say, Rajesh, how do you know -m, -a, this, that? So I was not knowing actually. What I did, I just type Ansible enter, and here I got lots of option, and I spent a lot of time understanding these options. For example, see here, -m, small one. Where is that? I'm not able to find it. Small m.
That's switch, no? That's switch. Case
Where?
sensitive switch. Case sensitive switch. It is a notepad, right? No? Is this a notepad?
No, no, no. This is a putty console.
Ah, okay, okay. You can grep, right?
Yeah, but wondering how come it's not visible.
Maybe yes. So for our
Okay.
eyes, these may small letters difficult. And double quotes.
Yes. And so -m should be there. Ah, it's there. No, it's here. I was not able to find it. Why? Oh, ho,
Yeah.
ho. If I scroll down, no, it was taking more pages actually. That is a problem. Okay, so this is
Mm.
the one. Now, so I found out, and this is a gradual learnings. How do I know argument? So here A. Yeah. So likewise, you have so many options. Spend some time. Slowly you get it. Okay. Slowly you will learn about this. Okay. So this command will install Apache 2 latest version. But where? Localhost. So let me do that. So guys, first I will validate whether it's Apache is there or not. So which Apache 2? It's not there. Run these ad hoc commands. Say installation done. The only thing which I want to check is change is equal to true. So that means earlier it was not there. This command made a changes in the system, and changes happen. Apache 2 got installed. Let me validate manually. See, done. Can I rerun one more time? See, this time change is equal to false. And this feature which you call it idiom potent, which is the one which I talked about it. Correct now?
What is it?
Idiom potent, this one
Okay.
here. So Ansible will check before changing the system, and if changes is already there, it will not make a change. So change is equal to false. So
Okay.
that is done.
If there is a minor change in the configuration, then it will apply. Otherwise, it will not apply.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that is done. So
Now,
guys,
now,
I
Rajesh, is this installed within the same tower, or is it installed on a remote machine?
localhost means same
Local.
machine.
Okay. So we
Hmm.
can give remote host also, right?
Yes, yes. So now if you see the flow, this is done, right? First one. Now you want to do in the remote host, one machine, correct? So let's create some images, you'll understand better. So this is me, this is my ACS where Ansible is installed, and here this is ARS, this is ARS. Two machines for the discussion sake. So what I did, first I tried the command here, installation got well. So now I want to try in the this one and this one. Okay, so this is the things which I want to try it out. Just again. So this I want to try it out. Okay, so now you have things. Now I just said this one SSH, SSH. So SSH you need a few things. You need a IP address, correct now, and you need username, and then you needed two things again, either password and key. Both you know that I don't have to teach you. Any servers either you support with the password or key, right? So username, password or key, IP address, protocol SSH by default. Now let's say this user is normal user, and if you are trying to install, so either you need a sudo, correct now, all of you, sudo to install the packages. So user need a sudo access. Now you know that if you know the sudo you can become without a password, typically we have it, or with password also we have it. Mind it, with password. It can be different user ID and password also required to become a sudo. Depends on the implementation how it is done. So complexity will come for the SSH. So this is SSH knowledge, nothing to do with uh, Ansible.
Okay,
Okay.
can it
So now,
access through the passwords? Can it access through password vault?
yes, yes, password vault also. Security I'm not talking about right now because we have not understood the fundamental. No, that's the reason. Yeah. So these are the SSH thing. Now we'll say, Rajesh, how can I understand all this option? Don't need to go anywhere. Just write Ansible. Everything is fine here. If you, if I tell you, spend some time, slow down, spend some time. It's not Ansible. It is SSH, learning SSH. Okay. So let's say you want to pass the username. What do you do? Here. You want to pass the password for that username. What is there? So hyphen K should be there. Do you find somewhere hyphen K? It's not here. Somewhere here. See here. Now you say I need to pass the key instead of password. Here it is. You'll say I want to become a sudo. Here it is. You say I want to become a sudo with different user ID. So here it is. So every options you have it and few more option in order to try it out. Okay. So don't worry about that. So now can I install in a one machines? What do we do in this case? So here I will write it, replace this for I for inventory. I'll talk about it. And then IP address. All I have to pass it. I'll tell you what is all, what is I, and IP address. So I'm using the same machine for the discussion. Done. It's the IP address. And then see here. these machines will make a SSH call to that machine, right, through IP address. And so username is required, u ubuntu, and I don't have a password, I have a file. So for file, uh, key file, right, key file is equal to node.pm, node.pm, and I want to become a sudo without a password, -b. So these are the options I selected. Now the question is, what is I? Correct now? What is I? So I basically, this is called inventory concept. Okay, you need to understand inventory concept. What is inventory? So inventory is nothing but a simple way I'll put it up. List of IP address. I said list, mind it. Okay, list of IP address of ARS. Simple. That's called inventory. Okay, inventory means list of IP address of ARS. Now you can provide this IP address over the command line like this. So it's not a list. If you do hyphen, it will become a list now. It's the list now. List of one element. It can be separated by more IP address also. So you can find in the command line. It can find in the file. It can be a directory also. It can be a script also. Right now, not complicating too much. I'll limit it to command and file. So right now, in front of you, I'm passing the file. I mean, sorry, command line. So list of IP address. So you have a different IP address, comma, separated by, and then give it another IP address. Are you clear? Are you, all of you?
Is it okay if I ask a question something more detailed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, for example, if you choose an option of file, and let us say it has the inventory of 10,000 servers,
Hmm.
and in that I wanted to deploy this on a specific series of IP addresses, which first three octets I have given, last octet I did not give it. So can I do anything
Yeah, yeah.
at the same?
Everything, everything is possible in that. Concept is called group. Just give me 2 more minutes. I'll come back to that. Okay.
Okay, sure, sure.
So that I'll talk about it. Okay. So now we did only see what I am doing right now. Let me remind you. Uh, this I'm doing this one. Do one in one remote machine. Okay. So for that, I do this. Now the question is, what is all? So all is basically group. Now you need to understand this. But before that, uh, understanding group, I want to run this command. Okay, and I'll explain you a little bit later. So for time being, you can ignore this. I is inventory, which is a list of IP address. M for module, A for argument of the module, remote machine username, and key or password, and sudo mode. So this is the
So
command.
when you give a single IP address, does it require to give a comma or it is by mistake you left it like?
Yeah. So that's what I said. It should be list format. So if you don't
Okay,
give a
so
list, then it will
okay,
be single machine, not applicable. It should be list format.
okay,
Yeah. So right now I have only one machine, but let's say if you have a second machine, so something like this, you have to do that. Okay.
got it, got it.
Yeah. So now I'm going to run it, but node.pem file is not there. So can I copy? So here, uh, hmm, somewhere I have a ppk file. Here it is. Okay. I'll validate once. Uh, key file. Yeah. So this is the PM file, which is for the server, and I am using it. CD vi node.pm. File name can be anything, okay? Mind it. Wrong and done. And guys, and you know the Linux specification. File for the keys should be 600. So chmod 600. This is a, else you'll get a warning for it. So guys, now I'm doing through the network. One remote machine. Enter. See, this is a finger pointing. Finger pointing means if one Linux connect to another Linux first time, it always ask. Okay. Now, right now we have only one machine, so that is okay. But if you have too many machines, then we need to find out the ways. You know that more or less, but I need to remind you. But for time being, manually I'm doing it. Yes. See, because it was already installed the Apache, so it is done. Now manually I'll do one thing. apt remove Apache. So I'm doing manually, okay? Just for doing some action through my script command. Done. Run. Done. One more time. idempotency. Done. So guys, now you see that first I tried the code in one machine. It worked. Then I tried in one remote machine also. It worked. So are you comfortable now? All of you?
Yes, this requires lab practice.
Yes, yes, definitely. Now guys, I will come back to see one task but multiple remote machine using inventory. What is inventory? This need to discuss first. So now guys, I told you inventory, which is nothing but a list of IP address, and it can be passed through command such as this one, or it can be file also. Okay. So now what I will do, I will write it down in file. The file and the name which I'm giving is inventory only. Okay. File name can be anything, literally. No need to problem have inventory. And in this, I will specify two IP address. One is right IP address. One is wrong IP address. A fake IP address. So right now, inventory, I have a two IP address. It can be 200 servers also. Inventory. File name can be anything I just said. And it should be separated by new line. So one line, one IP address. Okay. So that way you can write it. So now can I try inventory file? So remember that I tried this command list of IP address over the command to inventory file. Can I run now? See, it will work. Done. So it's working. Second machine it will fail because the wrong IP address, no? Fake IP address. See, second IP address got failed. So now you understood what is inventory file. Correct now? This is a file. Now next thing, inventory. Okay, inventory will have IP address. You will have group, and you have a group of groups. You will have parse, many other things. I'm not complicating right now because as I said, Ansible is huge. Many things are option there. For every problem, there is a solution. But I'll stick to group only because that is where most of the people are doing this. So what is group? So here I said, see, understand that in a simple way. Okay. What happens? The inventory you will have a hundreds of ARS server. Okay, hundreds of which. But simple, understand this way. You don't want to install Apache as per this code in all these machines. Why? Because Apache you need only in these three machines. These three machines you need a web server, app server, and these two machines you need a database server. If you remember architecture, database server, app server, web server, that service layer architecture I'm just discussing. So you need to have a different things. I'm just giving you example. So what do we do in this case? So inventory of one file, but you can create a group actually. How do we create? Let me tell you. So there's one group I'm creating web. There's one more group I'm creating app, and there is a one more group I'm creating DV. This is how you create a group. So here if you see in the inventory, I created three groups. One is having three machines, one is having three machines, another one is having two machines. So can I go and modify this my inventory file? So vi inventory delete, and now save it. Done. So now what you will do, you want to run in the web, correct? So instead of calling all, just call web. In this inventory file, this module, this parameter, and this authentication and authorizations. Done. Mind it, in the web group, you have three machines. Out of two machines are fake. So just for visualization purpose. Done.
So all is still valid, right? It can do it on all the groups, right? All
Yeah,
overrides, all.
I'm, I'm coming back. I'm coming back on this. Yeah. So now you see your question was, I have hundreds of machines, but I want to run certain tasks in certain machines. What do you do? Create a group. This is called custom group. Okay. So then you'll ask Rajesh, what is this all? So all, and there is a no group, and one more we have, I'm not able to recall that. These are the called built-in group. Built-in group means all, when you say that means all machines of the inventory. For example, in the web I have a three machines, but now the moment I change all, that means it will try all machines of inventory. You see, only one machine is valid, rest of them are failed actually. See, one machine, another machines also, it will try. See, all failed. Did you understand? All is a group. It's a default group. So understand that, come back to this. When I say all here, it is the required parameter actually. That's the reason I passed it. So here when you say all, that means this is the list. I- It's like for us, it's only one machine, but it's a list. So what you are trying to say, hey Ansible, run all machines of your inventory with this module and whatever it is, per arguments. So this is inventory. So that's the reason now you understand this line. Inventory is nothing but a list of IP address of ARS where you want to deploy the packages, basically servers. It can be passed over the command line which I showed you, and it can be passed on the inventory file, and inventory file you have a groups as well. Are you comfortable, all of you?
Yeah, how no group behaves differently?
Node group?
No group, no group. You mentioned the all and
Okay. So there is a default group called all, and there is called no group. No group means of the none of the group. So here it can be something like this, something like this. So this is a all file, and you say all, it will be all. But if you say no group, that means only this machine, none of these machines, like this.
okay. In single command, can I use multiple groups as well, or should I use at any
You
given point of time only one group?
no, very much you can do that. I was ignoring that because I told you, no, group of group and many things are there. But yes,
Uh,
you can do it like this also, comma app. Or
oh,
But if you feel no, I don't like this, then you can create a group of groups also. Let me tell you.
Okay, there
Uh,
itself. Okay, so
ha, GOG name, and just a second, I'll create it. GOG and children. Children, right? I forgot actually. Children. Children or something else.
right.
Uh, Let me recall this. Ansible inventory group of group. Uh, Children, yeah, I'm right. So children, and after that you specify web and app. So now you is become a group of group. So now you call GOG, it will be considered all the things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the way. So now this is what again I'm trying to consolidate. So here what I was trying to do, this is the third and fourth. So here one task means one module. If you want to do in local host, you can do that. One remote host, you can do that. If you have too many remote hosts, use the inventory and do that. If you have too many hosts, you can use and too many multiple hosts, but using group also you can do that. So now you understood how can you, if you want to do one thing in hundreds of machines using Ansible, how can you do that? All of you?
Yes, Ravi. Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So this is something which we have. Now I want to create a table so you will understand this one because many of you will get stuck in this. So how do we do that? This table of SSH table, though it's a SSH topic, but most of the people get stuck in Ansible itself because they never get a chance to explore it. So here, understand this. What happens? You have a ACS Linux, ARS Linux, mode is SSH protocol. So here there is one option called authentication and there is a one option called authorization. Okay, authorizations. So in what context? So I want to show you something. See, ultimately this is a ACS machine. A wants to connect to this machine and this machine parallelly for doing something in this machine and this machine. So you have to connect because all this network has to be happen. So this is called authentication. First you log in and after login what you are allowed to do, whether you are allowed to install or not or something like that, that is called authorization, what you are supposed to do. So in authentications you have many options. So one is username, okay, and second one is password for that, and then key. Okay, so if you keep this data Ansible, enter. So authentication, which is option, I want you keep all of you remember, which is called U. So username, if you want to password hyphen K, hyphen K. Where is that? Small one here. Okay. And you want to pass the key, then you have a key file. These are the options. Okay. Now, if you want to authorize yourself with a escalate yourself, so you want to become a sudo, then you have to use hyphen B, which is this one. If you want to do sudo with password, okay, Then you have to do -b and password capital K. Here it is. Become password. Mind it. If you want to do sudo with different username and password, then you have to try -b with different uh, username. So different username is become user, this one, and password -capital K. But if you say I want to do different username uh, and key, then different username and key file would be this one, this one. Yeah. So this is the way. I think this is a rare, so only keep it here. So that means in overall, let's say you have to total pass -u and one at least password or key. So let's say go password, and if you have a sudo with password, this one, and if you have a sudo with different user ID and password, this one. So this is the way, depends on your server anatomy, you need to configure it. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
maybe
sir.
some example. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now one more scenario I want to talk about, and that I feel is important. What happens in the inventory? You will have a many files, but you know what? All these servers, you may not have a same username and same password. What we will do in this case? What we will do in this case? So in this case, you will use behavioral inventory behavioral parameter. So we call it Ansible inventory inventory behavior parameter. How do we do that? So in that case, you know what? Instead of passing on the command line, because if you pass over the command line, it will be applied for all the servers. Instead of that, what we do, we pass in the inventory file also. That means whatever the username, password, and authority -b and all, we pass over that here only. How do we do that? Let me show you. So go to the Google, type Ansible inventory behavior parameter. And here, this is the one. Done. See here. So many options you can pass at the host level also. So many options. You will be you will be surprised actually. Many things you can change. You can change executables for shell. You can change Python version also in the ARS and many more. See here. So for example, let's say username for here is Ansible underscore user Raju, and this username is Ramu. So like this, you can do that. So now these two machines will use this user, and see how do you do that? Here it is. If you see the password is different, similar way. If you say other things are different, port are different, host are different, key files are different, and many things are different. All this you can address. For example, see here examples for this one. See, These are the four hosts: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the DNS. And you see port number, username, key file, Python interpreter, Ruby interpreter. All these things you can change it. This is called inventory parameter. This is the one.
But what about password? Do we need to put here password in plain text or?
So if this is a good question. If you put the password here or password here, which will take it up? So this has a highest precedence. Command line will be ignored. Now let's say the question is, should we put the password here in the file? The practice is no. There is a one concept which call it a vault concept. You can protect also, but right now I'm not complicating that. Just teaching a technology security practices you can do later actually. So vault password you can enable it, Ansible vault. Got it?
Oh, thanks.
So this is the something which you have it. So yeah, many things we talked about it. Let me give a revision what we discussed. So we discussed about what is Ansible. So in a simple way, you have hundreds of server and you want to configure hundreds of server with certain things in one go parallelly, but through code or command. Right now I'm teaching you command, not got into the code actually. So you can use Ansible. Simple. Example, you can change files, directory, services, users, group, anything. Anything you can do that. Now I'm teaching you Ansible command line, but our UI is there and AWS. By the way, these are the for enterprises. If you have a code ready, then only this will be right next step for it. Theoretically, you can manage the hardware also. We discuss on this. Why we need Ansible? Because using Ansible, it will take few hours to you to write a deployment code rather than whole things. Again, it's easy to learn, debug this, that, and all. Idempotency, we discuss about it. How it work? So we have a ECS server, which is important. And ECS servers, we have installed Ansible. It should be Linux. ARS server, we discuss. Some protocol, you must remember that. And why we call it agentless? Because of uh, in every Linux server of ARS, you have nowadays Python is coming default. And every Windows, you get a .NET, and partial, you get a default. So that's the reason we call it agentless. Yeah, so when you install Ansible, you get a executable, which I showed you. Then you get a modules, which I showed you. When you get on plugins and config file. And then you can get started, install Ansible, okay. Then have a project, convert your project into the steps, find out the module for each steps, and they require arguments or parameters. Once you have this ready, then start working on the ad hoc commands, which is a wise to do that, because ad hoc command you can test things are okay or not okay, easy and faster. So here Ansible is ad hoc way to do that. So the logic which I was trying to do, first I am doing ad hoc code, trying in one machine, then remote machine, then multiple remote machines using inventory and group in the inventory. So one machine, local host, multiple machines using CMD, multiple machine using inventory, and custom group in the inventory. Whereas group, I said you can create as many groups you wanted. There are few groups which is default, all and no group, and these are the arguments for authentications and authorizations. So authentication, these three options popular. Authorizations, few options here. This all this thing combined, it can communicate with the ARS. Now next situation, when you have a multiple machines in the inventory, each of those machines have a different parameters, username, password, this, that, and all. How do we do that? behavioral parameter. And this something like this, you can do that. I put the URL here. All the behavioral parameter, you can access it here. This all are here. So literally you can modify anything for any host in not to be passing globally over the command line. So Ansible can be customized a lot to many ways. Any questions so far, all of you?
Have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.